Collection.
An idea in formation all the time. Never static, always changing.
And more precisely?
A body of work that reflects an idea or a series of ideas, but that grows and changes with time.
Yours has grown a lot, right?
Indeed.
Ambition.
The desire to excel.
More.
No, I think ambition is an important factor in all of our lives. We want to do better, to excel, to push ourselves to do things in new and different ways, to recognize that we are our best when we are on the edge of what we know and understand, and it is constantly to challenge oneself to be better.
But when you look at what you have done with Moma in the last years, it's a lot, right? You were extremely ambitious.
I don't know if I was extremely ambitious. I think the institution was ambitious.
And you were accompanying it, right?
Well, a place like the Museum of Modern Art is a collective. It is a group of people who get together and share ideas, share ambitions, share thoughts, and push themselves to new and different levels.
Money.
Often necessary.
And in this case?
We have been very lucky that our trustees and friends have supported this project. And as a private institution, we're extremely conscious of the fact that we have a responsibility to our public and to our donors to use whatever funds we get intelligently.
And could you give some figures about the new Moma?
So the architectural project, which is both new architecture and a substantial amount of renovation, is a total of $450 million.
And?
That's
the whole budget for the project, right?
The whole budget for the architecture for the new building is $450 million.
Latin American art.
Very important.
Why?
Because so many of the artists from Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and elsewhere have made such great works of art that it's an essential component of understanding art at a global scale.
And it was ignored for years?
Not at the Museum of Modern Art. Latin American art has always been an important part of our project. Some of the earliest exhibitions that Alfred Barr organized were actually of Latin American artists like Diego Rivera. And I think over the years we've had times when we've paid more or less attention to Latin America, but we've always paid attention to Latin America. And in recent years, with the gift of Patty Cisneros' collection, we've been in an extraordinary position to amplify our holdings and increase the way in which we represent some of these great artists.
Studio Museum.
A great friend. We're delighted to be partnering with them for the next 4 or 5 years while they're under construction. And our project series will have every fall a project presented by the Studio Museum. So it'll be the Studio Museum at the Museum of Modern Art.
Global vision.
A good idea. I think anyone who is interested in contemporary or modern art for that matter has to have a global vision. It's very clear that important, even great art was being made in many different places for the last 100 or 150 years. It's not a new thing. It's simply that many of us have become acutely aware of what we haven't seen, what we have ignored in the past, and I don't think that is an acceptable position today because we have access to the information that lets us understand how important artists from elsewhere or around the world are.
The most important modern museum in the world?
You know I'm not going to answer that question.
Regret.
Everything that we haven't done.
And
more.
Always more.
Always more.